Check, 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 check out my melody. Nice. Okay. All right. Lab coats. Welcome back to BandLab Plus Coffee. I'm DJTatious, your host, and it's time to wake up, wind up, and queue up with another excellent episode of BandLab Plus Coffee. Am I allowed to say they're excellent, or do y'all have to say that? I don't know. Well, what do you think? I wanted to ask you today before we get started, or rather tell you, which is great news, and then ask you. We've officially hit over 250 subscribers on YouTube. That means two things. One, we're a quarter of the way to 1,000. The second thing I wanted to mention is 250 subscribers over the, how long have we been doing this? 4 or 5 months is really cool. And I'm just super excited about it. So I have my own BandLab Plus Coffee merch that I've kind of been testing out, using, liking, loving. But I think I'm going to drop some designs soon, because once we hit 500, I'll make some of those designs available for purchase for y'all, whether you want a coffee mug or tea or even a t-shirt to rep the name. Thank you so much for watching this show. Today, we are looking at Solar by StreetFight and Live Key Music. So without further ado, to the lab. Excellent track. Solar over here on BandLab by @SoundofaKind, SoundaKind. We're having 4 followers following 5 people. We can definitely do better than 4 followers. This deserves it. And then the other person working on the track with them is Live Key Music @official_live_key. I believe we've seen their name on the show before. That's @OFFICIAL_LIVE_KEY. Let's take a listen. This is already giving me those sunlight vibes. That daytime. Let's go. Oh, that was interesting. Where are my lyrics at, StreetFight? Oh, that was really good. We were getting this clean vocal sound all the way through, and then we have the echoes, which makes it special. And this melody line, do, really good. Good filter. I like that background synth. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, bringing it to the foreground now. Cutting everything out, except for that synth I just mentioned. Some pad. A little bit of swell. Oh, very good. The processing is excellent on this vocal. The ping pong delay. So smooth. Good, a little fade in with some percussion. Is this a loop? Ooh. Realize I never found my solar. Great job. That was really great. Solar by StreetFight and Live Key Music, or rather SoundofaKind and Live_Key_Music. What an awesome track. And what's great about it? So many things. So you know what? Let's just jump over to 2 things I love and 1 thing I want more of. The first thing I love about this track is the way that the vocals are processed throughout. When we get into the beginning of the track here, we get a very simple vocal process. But here's what's great about it. It's still electronic. So it's this simple vocal process, heavy on the autotune, which is a vibe. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because in the early 2000s, there were bands that were doing this all the time. And I'm not just talking about T-Pain. In fact, you know what? Let me just show you. I can barely wait to see your face. Crack its weary mouth and let the words float into space. That's what I'm talking about. These bands have been doing this for a long time, and it's a good sound and it's a great vibe. So when people tell you that hard auto-tune is not an option, or that it's not a vibe, or that it is somehow inferior to a dry vocal, don't listen, because we've been doing this for a while now, and in music, we know that autotune is in fact king. It just is. And that doesn't always mean audible autotune. Sometimes it's manual tuning, but the tuning process has become something our ear is so accustomed to, that now hard autotune has become the vibe. It just is. You don't have to be using autotune because you think your vocals don't measure up. A lot of times we're using autotune because it just sounds cool. So that's the first thing I love, this vocal arrangement here. Not only this hard autotune and where we get the echoes. And because we only use that periodically, it's special. It is a highlight of the track. So relatively simple tuning, followed by this really great back and forth echo. And then we come in here to when the song gives us a reprieve, and we get a lot of echo. We get, or rather, space with reverb. And the way that it sounds here completely changes and sets a totally different mood. So the whole song is just really well done in terms of vocal processing, vocal clarity, and vocals as a whole. I would like to hear them turned up, but the vocals are one thing I love. The second thing I love is the way that we are using the melody and the second melody throughout this track. The melody in the chorus a really great melody line. And in the background, we have the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, which is like this kind of secondary melody synth that becomes our primary melody synth in the reprieve. When we take a break, and then we go back to the end. So the track keeps doing different things, which is great for us, but it's also setting a mood with these particular synths. There's one that's a little more stabby. It kind of cuts through a little bit more, do, 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 do. And then there's a softer synth, a little more rounded, and it gives us the do, 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 both creating different vibes, but both giving us a cohesive musical experience when it comes to the vibe of the entire track. That is the second thing I love. Now, if there's one thing I want more of in here, it is going to be, I think I want this to be kind of double checked in a musical sense. I really like the melody synths. I like the drums that you chose. I like all of the processing. But where you get me and where I think we need to adjust something is in the chords, whether they're the bass or what have you. Boom, 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 boom. The chords themselves are correct chords, but they don't, the chord structure to me in my ears does not gel with the rest of the awesomeness of the track. Still great. Bass sounds good. You've processed it all really well, but the dum 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 dum, I'm not sure that would be the chords or the bass notes that I would want to hear to make a cohesive process. In fact, let's listen some more. So I think what I want to hear is dum 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 dum, rather than what I'm hearing here, which is the dum dum dum. Yeah, I think I just want some different bass notes in there. To comprise the bass or the chords elements in the track. So try this track if you still have all the stems and everything. Try this track with that dum 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 dum, and then on the second time through dum 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 dum, like walk it back down or whatever the case may be. Let's try that one more time just for clarity. Dum, 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 dum. Yep. Dum, 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 dum. That would fit with your vocal a lot better too. Dum, 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 dum. I wish I could tell you off the top of my head what notes those are. But that is what I want to hear from your track. So that is the one thing I want more of, is just kind of a shift in the bass itself. But other than that, this was phenomenal. This gave me the best Love Like Pie vibes. If you have not heard that song, check out A Love Like Pie, the band, and the song My Body specifically. I don't think you'll be able to find it on Apple Music or Spotify, but it's on YouTube and SoundCloud. And it just, not only does it give me that vibe, A Love Like Pie, but also people like Ben. Man, what is that song about boats? His mom filling his whole room with boats. If you know, put it in the comments. Anyway, everyone should jump over to BandLab and follow SoundofaKind and live_key_music. While you're over here, don't forget, you should also follow DJTatious on YouTube. You know, get us to 500 or even better, 1,000. BandLab. And, wherever you choose to consume your social media. In the meantime, leave a comment. What are the 2 things you love? 1 thing you want more of? Got a band you want to see? Don't forget, all you have to do is submit the track to me. It needs to be a non-explicit track. We don't do explicit language or explicit sexuality on the show. So go ahead and submit it to me, and it will be considered for BandLab Plus coffee. Thanks for waking up with me and drinking coffee or tea in some cases, and we will see you next time.